I'm up close and personal with the figures behind the high altar at the lower stage of the reredos, its lower section. Before I come on to them, I just want to note the frame of the reredos, the decorative frame that runs all the way around it. And you'll see that it's a vine that's bearing fruit with grapes, reminding us very much of that passage in St. John where Jesus speaks of himself as being the true and living vine and how we must be grafted into him in order to flourish. So we're starting, I never know my left from my right, we're starting from the left-hand side. And there, first of all, is the prophet Isaiah. Now, you'll remember from last week when we were looking at the stained glass windows that symbolism is very important and that emblems are important for saints and for biblical figures. I don't know why the emblem of the prophet Isaiah there is, he's got, I think it's a lily in a vase. If you know any better than me, answers on a postcard, that'd be very much appreciated. I just don't know why that's his emblem. I do know that for Daniel, who's next to him, he's got a scroll because he is given a scroll in the prophecies in the Old Testament. It speaks of a scroll being sealed. Then look, there's the camel hair. We know who this is. This is John the Baptist, of course. And in case we didn't know, there he is with a little lamb in his hands, pointing to the lamb. A reminder, as we've just noticed, from the tabernacle door. He says, "Behold the Lamb of God who takes away the sins of the world," pointing literally to Jesus. In the centre, as I said in the text this week, there's Our Lady holding Christ. Mark always says that these figures are so dusty and so covered with the soot of generations that it rather looks as if Our Lady has done a shift down the coal mine because she's covered in soot, and he's quite right. We do need to clean the reredos, and how amazing it would be in terms of colour if we were to do that. Moving on from Our Lady, and here is Stephen. Stephen is our patron saint, of course. He's known as a martyr and a deacon. So, if I pan back a bit and try not to kill myself falling up the steps, you can see he's wearing a deacon's robe, a dalmatic. You might remember Father Allen in his deacon's year. That was his vestment. So there's the deacon's dalmatic, and he's carrying the gospel book just to remind us that he was a deacon, and his emblem, poor chap, there's his pile of stones, because the way by which he was martyred was he was stoned to death. So there's our patron saint, beloved St. Stephen. And then moving along this last pair, here is Peter, and Peter's emblem, of course, is the keys, to remind us of the words of Jesus to him, "I'll give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven." And then next to Peter is the Apostle Paul, and Paul's emblem is a sword there. That was how he was martyred. He was martyred by being beheaded. So there you are. There's the lower section of saints and prophets from the high altar.